Welcome back, Deadites and Ghost Speeders, and if you're new to the channel, I am Old Head Gaming, and of course, we've been talking about Evil Dead for years now, and this is kind of one of the worst places the game's been in. If you think the game's doing great, then this is probably not the video for you. And of course, we'll be doing some Evil Dead stream tonight, because I want to talk about things further that I'm just going to kind of give a quick overview in the video today, and one of the biggest problems they have coming down the pike is the train that is on the tracks with the light coming closer and closer every day, and that's Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Now, why is Texas Chainsaw just a big deal? Well, let's be honest, there are two franchises that both are kind of niche horror film franchises that are kind of crossing over, and Friday the 13th is no more. I mean, yes, the servers will be open until next Christmas, but the game is not getting any more updates. They've given everything away, and that was kind of that first really big ASIM for a lot of people, along with Dead by Daylight. And Friday the 13th's creators, Gun, are now the ones making Texas Chainsaw, and it did really, really well during its tech test, when it, ironically enough, as we saw the first event ever occur in Evil Dead the game. If you haven't seen this tweet from Tim, here it is. So he said when they were kind of pushing for people to go vote for Evil Dead to be Horror Game of the Year, I know we've been quiet. I know we've been a little quiet lately. Major understatement. We're looking at where the game is and what we can do, kind of like he said, of course, in that video where they're going to sit back and watch feedback and talking with our partners. Hopefully we will have a clear direction soon. Now, that's the problem, because if soon isn't before August 18th, they're going to get hit by a truck. Evil Dead right now is in a place where the game has been pretty stale, and they have gone now 90 days without any kind of communication, other than this, I guess, this message from Tim. And, of course, everyone's all amped up. Texas Chainsaw on Twitter is doing a great job, or X, I guess I'm never going to call it X. Fuck it, it's Twitter. And they've done a great job keeping people excited, and that's where they're at now. They just announced that everyone can apply for their keys if you're a content creator. Obviously, we did that as well, so that hopefully we get a copy to play on Steam for you guys come August 18th. And right now, this is a problem for Evil Dead the game, because you have a very similar player base. You have a very similar group of people who are interested in both Texas Chainsaw and Evil Dead the game. And Gun has done a great job with Friday. People were very happy with the game. People are going to miss the game. And Evil Dead right now, Saber did a great job creating the game. I will never knock what they built, but they've done a terrible job keeping people interested. They've done a terrible job delivering content. And let's be honest, we can pretty much face the fact there'll never be a map again. Let's be honest, it's just not happening. And we got this point now where Evil Dead's in a really bad place. Dead by Daylight's doing really well. They have another big content drop next month. Texas Chainsaw is coming, and this is the one they have to worry about. Leatherface is on his way. He's got the chainsaw behind him. He's dancing. He's ready to chop through Ash in this chainsaw versus chainsaw battle. And I'm worried for the state of Evil Dead the game, because if they just kind of sit around and still say, you know what, we'll get to that information soon, we're going to be in a place where the game isn't existing anymore. The player base is non-existent on Steam, so that was a complete miss. Sure, most people play on console or Epic already, but like the information that they deliver soon has to be a major content drop, or people are just going to bounce off this game and just call it a day. Because if it's just games dropping on Game Pass, or they're releasing their Switch version finally that they haven't talked about in over a year, there's nothing left. I don't know what to tell you. As an Evil Dead fan, I am gutted by what we've seen in the last 90 days. And I really want this game to find a second win, but I don't know if it's going to happen. And, of course, like I said, Texas Chainsaw is just right around the corner, and you're going to see a mass exodus to Texas Chainsaw, which is going to shrink the player base even more if there's not something that they know they're playing for. Like, this is why it is paramount that in the next 21 days, they need to make a major content drop announcement. Not necessarily they need to get the content out, but we have to know that the Evil Dead Rise chapter or Ash vs. Evil Dead 3 chapter with Chet and Brandy is coming. Like, we need to know major content is coming. And if we don't, people are going to stop caring, because that's how live service works. If it's not alive, it isn't a service. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I always want to talk about this, and we're going to talk about this pretty in depth while I play a few matches of Evil Dead the game tonight before we switch over to Dead by Daylight and our Evil Dead by Daylight stream this evening. As always, thank you for watching, and later, mates.